So, guys, I am going to record. I'm going to introduce Mr. Sweeney to you guys. He started selling Cutco on November 3rd of 2023. He's over $350,000 in career sales. His average order is over $1,200. He averages 25 recs per demo, and his biggest week was over $27,000. His biggest order is now over 8K, and his largest push was over 66K. A push is typically about 2 weeks. Sweeney has spoken on our regional champions club as a top CSP in our region and our nation. He also ran a nationally ranked branch office. He's one of the best students of the business and someone who really understands psychology and the art of sales. He is a great teacher and can break down something as simple as a phone call and also teach something as complex as selling a Cutco kitchen. Personally, Sweeney is a good friend of Ron's and someone Ron really respects and enjoys getting time with inside and outside of the business. And yeah, so he is speaking. Thank you so much for taking your time today to speak to us. We appreciate it a ton.
Of course. Thank you for the sweet intro. Yes, Ron is a great friend of mine. He is fantastic, and you are very, very lucky to have him as a manager because he is also a nationally ranked manager, and he's one of the best. And if you could co-host me so I can share this, I'll be able to rock and roll from there.
You said if we can what?
If you can give me co-host, I should be able to share.
You don't have co-host yet.
No, I gave you host.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, perfect. You got it?
Yep. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be when Ron reached out to me to give this talk, it definitely wasn't a topic that I was expecting to be giving a talk on because of just the simplicity of it, but it is very, very important. There is nothing more important in sales than these two things. And y'all can all probably remember from training that creating a need and building value are going to be the two things that work in hand with one another to help you sell a product. If there is no need for the product and there's no value from the product, then you're not going to be able to sell it. It just doesn't make sense. It's never going to click. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be talking about some things that you already know, and I'm going to be talking about some new things. I'm going to be giving you a refresher as well on some simple stuff on creating a need and building a value. This will not be a long talk. This will not be a super dense and technical talk, but my goal with this talk is whether you are brand new starting out and you just started, or you're at 30K plus in sales, that not only you take a takeaway and you find something that you will use, but it's also to introduce you to ideas that high-level sales individuals and high-level CSPs are mirroring in our business. So this is not all going to apply to you, but I do want to expose you to some of the verbiage that you will be seeing as you move forward in the Cutco career, because the earlier you are exposed to it and the earlier you can implement and learn about it, the better you will be able to do on your demos, especially at creating a need and building value. So before we get started, I'm a big note taker, so you can see I'm here in my dad's awesome office. Bro's balling out, but I need a pen flip from everyone. This is a highlighter, but give me a pen or pencil flip in the air that you're taking notes, ready to go. Okay, thank you, Miss Amy. Thank you, everybody here in the training class. I can see someone waving it from the side. That's hilarious. But we're going to go ahead and get started. This is going to be in 3 sections. First is going to be simple, creating a need. And this is going to be on asking quality questions. What are some quality questions? What should you be asking your customers that will help you create a need best? Number 2 is going to be the building value part. The 3 reasons why customers choose Cutco. We all should be able to name them. The reason I'm going to go over them again is to show you why and how I name them and how that might differ from how you are naming them. And then finally, solution selling. This is going to be the BOLT method and the BOLT classifications, and then leveraging your customer's hot button. So we're going to teach you what a hot button is and why pressing that hot button is going to make you sell Cutco on every single freaking demo. But what I would recommend with this talk is, because you're going to get a lot of info, you're not going to be able to implement it all at once. So I would recommend that you take your top takeaway from each section. So your top takeaway from creating a need, your top takeaway from building value, and your top takeaway from solution selling. And I'd recommend you take those top three and start implementing them and then move from there, so you don't just have this fire hose of information that goes straight to the drain. So that is why would be my recommendation for you on how to implement this stuff moving forward. But with that, we'll get into creating a need and asking quality questions. Asking quality questions is the biggest part of sales. You will be as good of a sales individual as your questions. So the higher level questions you ask and the more needle moving questions you are asking to your customers, the more you will move the needle on your CPO and your sales as an individual. This is something that I want you all to get down, especially if you're new. Customers don't buy Cutco and they don't buy in general because they understand the product. The product is easy to understand. Customers buy because they feel understood. What that means is that if your customer feels that you are showing them a solution or you are showing them something that is going to fit their needs best, it's catered to them and brings them individually value. As if they feel that you are showing them something specifically for them that fits their certain ecosystem, as opposed to the same thing you'd show everyone, they are going to put more trust in you as a person because you're catering it towards them, and they're going to trust you more as a professional and take your word at face value more often because they trust that you are looking out for their best interest. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to introduce you to some of these questions that you should be asking and just some ideas to implement on the demo. Number one is, what would you use? You need to be asking a certain type of what are you going to use, or you're going to be wanting to figure out what a customer would use no matter what. Now, you want to be able to effectively, as a Cutco representative, intro all 4 pillars of the Cutco kitchen. Now, if you're fresh in the game, you're probably only selling the knives. Well, I'll tell you something. We have some damn good cookware and flatware and gadgets. That stuff is awesome. Miss Amy is shaking her head. She knows because she sold so much of this stuff and she knows it's the best. You want to be able to effectively intro all 4 of these in what we call an elevator pitch. So an elevator pitch is basically a 30-second to 60-second, maybe 2 minutes. 2 minute might be a little long. 30 to 60-second kind of synopsis or summary on the high points of a certain product. So for the knives, it would be like dishwasher safe double D edge. For the cookware, it would be it's non-cancerous, non-stick. For the flatware, it would be it all matches. It's basically sterling silver. And for the gadgets, it would be minimizing and replacing the drawer. That would just be that's like a baby level 0 elevator pitch on the 4 pillars. Now, if you don't know how to pitch effectively all 4 pillars, you have a couple of things you can do. Number one, you can always reach out to me later and I will definitely help you, or you can reach out to all the lovely people in your office like Mr. Jones or Miss Amy. I bet they would be more than happy to point you in the right direction. You can reach out to any of your FSMs or field sales managers. They can help you as well. Or you can also go to Vector Connect. Vector Connect has fantastic resources from all of the previous years of talks going all the way back to the 1990s on people selling cookware, flatware, and gadgets at a high level. And this is something that if you are planning on being in this business for a while and you want to be a professional, you need to be versed in, because it's one of the 4 main pillars of our company. You want to make a mental note of which programs your customer could be candidates for. So when you give your elevator pitch in your Cutco Kitchen intro pitch, your customer is going to be flipping through your booklet, or they're going to be giving you some sort of expression that is going to give you some insight as to if they're interested in this or not. So a simple one would be, oh, I didn't know you guys do cookware. That's awesome. that shows that they have a little bit of interest in the cookware, and you definitely are going to want to show it to them. Or even more black and white, wow, I actually was just talking about flatware, just talking about cookware. There are much more subtle there's much more subtle verbiage that your customer can use that can give you insights on whether or not they would be a good candidate for one of these four programs or one of these four pillars. As you pitch your elevator pitch and as you do more demos implementing this, you will start to learn more of those subtle cues. And like a simple one is if they flip to the cookware page. If they're continuously flipping back and forth, looking at the cookware page, their bodies and their body language is pointing towards the cookware. You're definitely going to want to show them cookware because even if they didn't say it, their body is telling you that they want to see the cookware. As you grow as a professional in sales and in Cutco, you will start to pick up these cues and these signs. And again, if you want some more examples, you can always feel free to reach out to me or your team. So make a mental note of these because we'll be coming back to these later. And then ask permission questions. Permission question is basically a question that asks permission. Wow, crazy, right? Never could have guessed that. What you do is you're basically asking your customer if you'd be able to simply just show them something. So a simple permission question would be, hey, would you mind if I walk you through what's in our basic set? Hey, Miss Jones, I saw you were looking at the cookware. Would you mind if I walked you through our cookware and what makes it so special? What makes it #1 in the world? Would you mind if I showed you why the recommender decided to get an entire kitchen and just replace everything? Ask these permission questions. They will take you very far because it shows that not only are you respectful, but you are also giving the customer a little bit of frame by allowing them to push the pace of the demo a little bit. And it builds trust in you because you're not just forcing the demo. It feels like it has a lot better flow because you are leading in with these permission questions and giving them the opportunity to say yes to transition onto whatever the next thing may be. Now, we want our customers to be thinking about what they could possibly get, not what they need specifically, not what they want. What could they possibly get in total? If they can get 2 kitchens, we want to know that. And here's a couple of reasons why. We're going to want to find out what they cook with the FMVO list. This is the fruits, meats, veggies, other list. This is one of the greatest things to building a need. One of the most fabulous tools that I have helped develop that has allowed me and a ton of people in the Eastern region to sell sets more frequently and sell higher average orders because of this list. I'm going to go into that next, or I'm going to go into that on the next slide. On each piece, ask the customer if they would see use out of the piece. So what this would mean is as you're walking through the homemaker, you show them the paring knife. Awesome. You went through the paring knife, the little elevator pitch that comes with it. Would you see use out of the paring knife? Yes, I would see use out of the paring knife. Okay, cool. Would you see use out of the trimmer? Yes, I would see use out of the trimmer. You want to make a mental note, again, of which ones they say they would actually see use out of. This is going to help you build a need because they are literally telling you that they would see use out of this for the certain job that you showed them for. Or sometimes they will say what else they might use it for. Like a lot of people use the trimmer for everything, straight up. They'll use it for trimming fat off chicken, or same thing like the boning knife. People use the boning knife for trimming fat off the chicken. You just want to have these things and you want to have these pieces memorized and kind of in your back pocket of what they would say in your that they would say they would use, so you can use this as ammunition later to help build the need in not only Cutco but build the need in the sets. Now, could anyone in their family use this as a gift? That is another one. Cutco is a phenomenal gift. It is actually one of the top closing gifts in the nation. Cutco is one of the top gifts given all across the world. I know my family received their Cutco as a gift. My grandma received Cutco as a gift. I've given it as a gift many times. You want to, again, the reason I'm saying this is I'm trying to wrap it all back up into making your customer think big picture. What could I possibly get if I wanted to? Some people can afford to get a kitchen for their family. And some people can afford to get a kitchen for their as a gift for family members. So you don't want to cap what your CPO could be, which is why you want to open up this possibility, because you want to be able to shoot as high as possible. Doesn't always mean you're going to close a kitchen on every demo, but it gives you the opportunity to qualify your customer as a candidate for it, and gives you more reps in pitching it, which will in turn help you close more if you already have more practice. And then using set verbiage. This is going to help with building a need. Any combination of items can be a set or a package. I'm going to say this a different way. In advanced training, I'm glad we're in Coastal, because we teach this in advanced training, and y'all will be able to answer this question. When we go to Chick-fil-A, do we buy the fries, the sandwich, and the drink separately, or do we buy a meal? We can all say it together. Meal. We buy it as a meal. Why? Because it is less expensive. You want to make your own meals within Cutco. A step further than that, you want to make your own sets or packages or meals catered to your customer. So if someone let's say they already have a peeler. They already have a pizza cutter, and they want to get the homemaker. The homemaker for my business automatically comes with the entertainer pack. Well, they already have a peeler and they already have a pizza cutter. Well, in my business, you're getting 4 gadgets no matter what. So when I pitch it to them, I'm not going to say the entertainer pack comes with the peeler, the pizza cutter, the ice cream scoop, and the cheese knife. I'm going to say the entertainer pack comes with the wine opener, the can opener, the ice cream scoop, and the cheese knife. This is a very, very small example of catering it already to what the customer has. Another example would be if a customer says they would not see use out of a baby little paring knife. If they say something like that, okay, let me before you just pitch it as is, pitch it like this is how it comes with the 4-inch paring knife. Oh, you didn't want the baby paring knife? Yeah, I thought so. Your set actually would come with a 4-inch paring knife just for you. This, of course, is going to build trust, and people are going to be getting more what they want. And if someone can get more of what they want at a price that they want, you are going to sell more. Now, I'm going to keep going a little bit further with this. As an independent contractor, we are all, as everyone in Cutco is an independent contractor, we are 1099s. You can sell a 3-piece set. You can sell a 20-piece set. What I'm saying is it is your business as a 1099. If you as a business owner only sell complete Cutco kitchens and you don't allow your customer to buy anything lower than a complete Cutco kitchen, you are only going to sell complete Cutco kitchens. Now, are you going to sell everybody on complete Cutco kitchen? Probably not. But what I'm saying is that you choose what is a standard in your business. Me, for my business, the lowest knife set a customer can get from me is an a la carte 5. If a customer is buying Cutco from me, they are getting a set, and that set has 5 knives in it. Can I get pieces? No, I'm not selling you pieces. Now, if I'm going and I'm trying to, of course, sell 1 or 2 off, if they're already a Cutco owner and they're just trying to fill some things in, obviously, again, I will cater more towards that need. But if I'm seeing a brand new customer that has never bought Cutco before, the lowest I will allow them to get is an a la carte 5, because the more Cutco they have, the happier they are going to be. So by me selling them a la carte 5 at the bare minimum, I am doing the best service to them as a cook, because they're covering all their bases with that 5, and then I'm giving them a discount. So I'm doing my best service to their wallet as well. Also with the a la carte 5, it allows your customers to pick from homemaker, signature, and ulti. I've seen some very cool a la carte 5s. I've seen some boning knife, hearty slicer, petite santoku, trimmer, paring knife. I've seen some very interesting ones that have a combination of some things from the ulti, some things from the siggy, some things from the homemaker, and how this helps you build a need is you have probably all seen those customers that are like, I'm only a one or two knife type of person. And that is why we have the a la carte 5. It helps them get their one or two knives, and then they get a couple more that they will need. You do have to break open the frame a little bit, and you have to help their mindset there on why it would be a need. And then from that, you can move forward, and only they will, if they feel as if they are only buying stuff that they are going to use and need, the sale is going to be made 100% of the time, because people buy stuff that they need all the time. People buy stuff that they don't need all the time. What I'd recommend for you is make it a challenge to yourself to never go below 3 pieces. If a customer is buying from you, hey, can I just buy pieces? And you've dropped all the way down, you've dropped down past the a la carte 5, and they're like, hey, like, what's the bare minimum I can get from you to help you out? I would recommend a 3-piece set. You get CPO that's worth your time, and they get 3 things that are going to help them out. I usually would never go below that. Now, any 2 pillars of the Cutco kitchen are a set. Start using set and package verbiage. So what I say is, if my customer gets a 3-piece knives from me, that is a 3-piece set. And this also helps when you are getting recommendations or you are speaking to a recommender. Because here's the thing, if Miss Jones went and she bought 2 pieces, and you go to her friend and she says, what did they buy? And you go 2 pieces, what is your customer thinking? 2 pieces. They're thinking pieces, and I can get 2 pieces. If you say they got a set, it can be a 2-piece set. 2's a set. 2's a set. And 2 pillars of the Cutco kitchen are a package. So if someone gets an a la carte 5 from me with the entertainer pack, I say they got a knife and gadget package. So when my customer asks, what did they get? They got a knife and gadget package. They don't know what that is. All they know is they got knives and gadgets together, and then you're able to mold their mind to their needs and fit what's best in their needs from there. So remove pieces from your vocabulary entirely. We do not sell pieces. We sell sets and packages, because they're discounted and it helps our customers get more of what they want. That was super long-winded, but that is the first slide. Now, we're going to go into the FMVO list really quick. This is the fruits, meats, veggies, other list. When you make this list, it is directly after rapport, before Cutco Kitchen intro. So before you've even talked about anything to do with Cutco, directly after rapport, you say, hey, Miss Jones, my goal today is not to sell you everything in the book. I'm only going to sell you things and show you things that you want, need, or see use out of. So let's make a list of things that you cook in the kitchen so that I can best serve you. Then you're going to make this chart. It's going to look like a weird kind of tic-tac-toe-ish chart. And then on one thing, you're going to write fruits. And then you're going to write meats, veggies, and then other. Now, my original manager and Ron Jones' original manager, Dominic Allen, had fruits, meats, and veggies. Well, I went a step further and added the other category, because how am I supposed to sell a cheese knife if a cheese knife is not the fruits, meats, or veggies? How am I going to sell the spreader? Spreader's not for fruits, meats, or veggies. How am I going to sell a bread knife? And that is why we created the other category. So here's some examples, and then you're just going to write down everything. Here's some examples of fruits. You're going to write down everything. I would literally mention every single one of these things and get them to write it down. Now, some verbiage with the fruits, meats, veggie, other list. The verbiage is, do you ever, sometimes, once in a while cook? I know you probably heard this in training. So let's say it's winter. If you ask someone, hey, do you eat watermelon? They're probably going to say no because it's winter. Are Cutco sets just to be used for the winter? No, they're going to be used over the next 40, 50, 60 years and passed down to their kids. They are going to cut a watermelon at least once a year in those 40, 50, 60 years. So the verbiage you use is, hey, do you every once in a while, sometimes maybe cut a watermelon? If they every once in a while, sometimes maybe cut anything, they need a knife for it. And that's the verbiage you're going to use with some of the more out there things like watermelon, pineapple. On meats, you're going to use it for like ribs, brisket, steak is one that a lot of people do. You're probably not going to have to use it for that one, but ribs and brisket for people that barbecue. Veggies, butternut squash is one that's good to use that on. Also stuff like eggplant and squash, just those bigger stuff. The reason I also like to include the bigger stuff, it makes it really easy to sell the Hardy slicer and the melon knife, aka the butcher knife. And then the other, breads, spreads, cheeses. You're going to make this before you ever talk about anything to do with Cutco. I promise when you make this, you are going to sell more pieces more often and more sets. You're going to sell more pieces that turn into more sets more often. You're going to sell your customer on the pieces, which is going to help you sell them on the set. It's also ammunition. If your customer is like, I don't need the Hardy slicer, hey, you said you do ribs, you said you do pineapple, you said you do butternut squash, you said you do all of those at least once a month. This is the knife for all three of those. What do you mean you wouldn't use it? What do you mean you don't see a need out of it? Like, you just told me that this, you would need it exactly for these. Again, helps you have that extra ace in the back pocket to help you further. 3 reasons why customers choose Cutco. Number 1, it's American made. And before I go into this, guys, on our demos, we go and we spend, it feels like an hour building value, especially when you're new. Now, if you're new and you just got out of training, you need to stick to the script because you do not know everything about Cutco to heart yet. But once you start getting to your second, third promotion, 10K plus, feel free as a business owner and as an independent contractor to deviate from that script because there are better practices and there are CSP practices that can be implemented. I will tell y'all, for me, my building value on Cutco is maybe 10 minutes max, depending on the customer. And I don't even go into everything. Why? Because our customers aren't idiots. Our customers have been cooking and they know what knives do. And they might not know the certain type of steel or the certain type of thing the handle's made out of. But I'll be honest, some customers don't care about that. And you telling some customers about that actually damages you more than helps you because you lose attention from them. If a customer doesn't give a care in the world about thermo resin and double D edge and you spend 15 minutes going into them, you are losing trust and you are losing frame because they're like, oh my gosh, I got this. Not only did I understand it, I actually didn't even care to begin with, and this guy is still droning on about it. You're losing frame that way. So what I do is I keep it short and sweet. I say, hey, Miss Jones, here's the 3 reasons why customers choose Cutco and why it makes sense. Number 1, it's American made. 1 in 4 Americans own a Cutco piece in their home. That is a true statistic. 1 in 4 Americans own a piece of Cutco in their home. They might not know it, but they do. We've been around for 75 years. Trust me, they have it in there. We own K-Bar, and we manufacture all knives for U.S. military. At this point, I say, I'm super proud of this personally, Miss Jones, because I have family members that are in the military. I have family members that have served and that are serving currently. So I take a lot of pride in this because not only are American-made things hard to find nowadays, it supports our country and it supports our troops. And that's something that I like to lay on them there. And they will almost always go, yes, that is awesome. Of course I prefer American made. Of course I want to support the country. Number 2, it's forever guaranteed. It's the only product you're going to buy once, use every day, and never have to replace. Guys, that line is iconic, and it's iconic for a reason because it works. the extended return policy. So for my customers, I do this. I extend the full money back guarantee to a full 30 days to make sure they love it. It says, I don't even remember what it says. It says like it's 15 days or something. 15 days. In training, they say extend it to 15 business days, so that becomes 3 weeks. I say, okay, I'm gonna round it out and make it a month. When I say you get a month, full 30 days, I promise you the perceived value goes up already because the resistance, the sales barrier goes down. People's calendars are booked out 3 weeks out. I'm telling you, when you give your customers a month, it gives them a lot more time, or it just seems like a lot more time for them to have the stuff and use it and sit on the decision. And here's the thing: once a customer gets Cutco in their home, are they going to return it? No, they're not going to return it anyway because they're going to see how good it is. So all it can do is help you. I would say you can return it up to a year, but that would be dumb. So 30 days, stick to 30 days. And then I tell my customers I cover all shipping. I cover all shipping and service requests exclusively. When it says sharpening, I say one of two things. I say, great thing about sharpening is that I get to see you again. When I come to sharpen your stuff, I bring coffee, pastry, or donuts to make it the best part of your day, always. I always have a smile on my face, and I'll be telling you jokes even if they aren't funny. And they usually chuckle. And then I'm like, also, I will come in person to sharpen them, but if you would prefer, I also cover shipping. So if you would rather send them to the factory to get sharpened, I cover the shipping for you as an extra thank you for becoming my customer today. And with that, I will cover that and you can get them sharpened for free. Your customer will put more trust in you. Also, your perception as a professional just keeps on raising. Hey, I extend the money back guarantee for you. Oh, this guy's really trying to help me out, or this gal's really trying to help me out and be comfortable with this decision. Oh, also I cover all the extra costs. And if you do ever need to get them sharpened, oh my gosh, they're going even more above and beyond to help me out. Building value is not only about building value in the product, because people aren't only buying the product, they are buying you as a representative and as a partner in their kitchen. So not only do you need to be building value on Cutco, you need to be building value on why you should choose me, why I'm going to help you, and how I'm going to further help you in your kitchen needs and your kitchen journey. So those are two different types of building value. Now, dishwasher safe. You need to press this button of dishwasher safe. Spam the fact that they are dishwasher safe. I will tell you, I believe 60% of the reason why customers get Cutco and 60% of the customers' main reason is the fact that it is dishwasher safe. In training, we don't tell you to say it enough. Say it a lot. This is the only set of kitchen knives, cookware, and flatware on the planet that is 100% made and recommended for the dishwasher. Why? It doesn't rust. Thermo resin. Again, if they ask why, how is it dishwasher safe? This is when you go into thermo resin and stuff like that. Because they asked a curiosity question. So you as a professional are going to meet their curiosity. But if they don't ask, how is it dishwasher safe? Then you don't need to go into all the reasons why it's dishwasher safe because they're just going to take your word for it. But it is super important because there is no other brand on the planet, even if they say they are dishwasher safe, I promise you there is no other brand that's 100% dishwasher safe and made and recommended for the dishwasher as much as Cutco is. So that is on building value. Last, solution selling, bulk classifications. So this is something Miss Amy's definitely probably heard about this for sure. And a lot of very high level CSPs, especially in this, like to categorize people into a bulk classification. It's also very similar to CVI index. So if any of y'all are in TLA and y'all know like innovator, builder, merchant, like if y'all know those, this is basically a different version of that or a different way of looking at that. This is what my mentor taught me. This is what Christian Hogue, as well, the top Cutco college rep of all time, uses as well. Bulk classification helps you identify the type of person you're in front of. Again, people don't buy because they understand what you're selling. They buy because they feel as if you've understood them. So the better you can understand a customer and the more you can cater to their not only needs, but personality by changing your demo to their personality, the more you're going to close and the higher value you're going to build. Now, I'm just going to go through these very quickly because this could be an entire talk in itself. Bull, that's the first one. Classifying a bull, knowing a person is a bull, is they're very forward and very direct, like a bull. They can seem pushy or rude. They're not actually pushy or rude most of the time. They're just so direct and so straightforward, and they want to hear about what they want to hear about, and only that it can seem pushy or rude. The great thing about a bull is that they chase red flags, and those red flags are supercharged deals with a sales price on them. If you go and if a bull comes in and they say, I only have 20 minutes, and you're doing a demo and they're kind of on the fence about a set or something, these are the people that are going to be more susceptible to the deals. So giving that shears for free, giving the entertainer pack for free, giving a deal that's being like, hey, look, you've been real direct with me. You've been real straightforward with me. I appreciate that. And I thank you for that because not everybody is that way. So I'm going to just be direct and ask you a direct question. Be direct back to them. You have to meet a bull head on. You cannot shy away from a bull or else they will run you over. But I'm going to be direct. If this set was a better price, like if this set fit a little bit more in the budget today and I was just able to hook you up with a deal to help me out with my scholarship and help me out with my contest, would you get it today? And they'll tell you yes or no. They'll say, not this set, or they'll say, of course. I've had people say, of course before, given a deal, we closed on the spot. That is the bull. Next is the owl. The owl is a very interesting type of person. The owls are going to be a lot more of like engineer type thinkers. They're more reserved in how they think, a little bit more introverted. They're analytical thinkers. They're statistically driven. That's why they make great engineers. They are thinking about what the best option for them is at the best time. And owls buy on a need basis. An owl is not going to buy typically all of the extra stuff if they don't feel like they need it. This is where catering sets is going to be perfect and catering packages is going to be perfect. If an owl says, I'll only use a peeler and a pizza cutter and you try to sell them the whole entertainer pack, it's going to be a no. But if you try to sell them the pizza cutter and the peeler, it's going to be a yes 100% of the time because they're thinking on that need basis. So again, with the sets, let's say they're like, definitely wouldn't use that small paring knife. You switch it for a large one, bam. They see that on a need basis. Not only is it not only does it have to be the perfect feeling set or package, it also has to be the perfect time. If an owl doesn't feel like it's a good time to buy these, or if it doesn't make sense for them at the time, they're not going to get it. So you have to make sure that whatever package you're showing them is perfect for this time right now. Obviously, I'm saying perfect. We cannot get perfect, but again, the more quality questions you ask your customers and the more trust and rapport you build, the realer they're going to be with you. And so the easier you can uncover what they need and what they want, and then the easier you can cater to them. The lamb. Let's think of how you would approach a lamb. They're very quiet, almost timid. They can have a lot of trouble opening up because of how timid, quiet, shy, reserved that they will be. Not reserved like the owl, like shy, like doesn't even want to speak shy. If you build high level rapport with the lamb and you truly understand a lamb, they will open up to you more. Mirroring is essential. If you come in with too much information, like you would for owl loves information, and owl is going to love the double D edge. They're going to love the thermal resin handle. They're going to love all that extra stuff that I said you can usually cut. So with the owl, they might enjoy going into that. Bull doesn't care. Lamb can get scared off by that. If you are just word vomiting on them, kind of like how I'm spewing now, the whole time, you are never going to know what they want. You're never going to know what they think they want and they think they need. So mirroring and yourself becoming timid and shy, even shyer than the lamb, forces them to drive the conversation. So even if they don't want to, if they think that you are quieter and more reserved than them, they are going to push the conversation forward anyway. And you want them to open up and you want to get them talking, because once they get talking and they get used to you, you will reach a great middle ground. And lambs are awesome people. They are a little more rare than most people on the list just because of how extremely shy they can be. But just mirror them, be quiet, be reserved, have manners, just ask questions, try to get to know them, and you should have no problem selling to them. And then the tiger. This is the most common personality type. Reason is because most people are a mix of two. So most people like me, I'm bull tiger. I will be super direct and straightforward, almost an a-hole sometimes, but I also love talking to people and can be energetic and stuff. That is just kind of like my two that are mixed together. Ron Jones, I would definitely say he's more of owl tiger. Very analytical guy, loves to think about the in-depth stuff, loves to look at the stats, very big on the numbers, but still is great at talking to people and loves having those conversations. Also, with this, you will be personally identifying with some as well. And that's going to be an awesome journey just to kind of see what might help you best. But they're very energetic people. These are the people that you say, hey, I need some help with this contest. And they're like, oh, yeah, I'm 100% down to help. They are just down to help, happy to hear about your goals, happy to get to know you, super friendly, super awesome to communicate. The problem can be if you do not frame how they can help you correctly. If a tiger thinks that they are helping you out in the best way possible by just seeing the demo, then they're going to be jovial on that demo, but they're not going to get anything. If a tiger goes and they know, if a tiger knows that the best way they can help you out is by getting Cutco and getting a lot of Cutco, they are going to start thinking of a middle ground of between where they're at and how can they best help you. They're great mediators. Tigers are great mediators. So the best way to approach a tiger is to effectively frame on how they can best help you. Rex is the best way they can help you in this business. But second is, of course, getting a lot of Cutco. That is the tiger. Again, if you have more questions going in on this, I know we're kind of cut for time soon. You can always ask me. And then finding your customer's hot button. Each customer will have a main reason as to why they would purchase Cutco. This is called the hot button. So for a lot of them, as I said, 60% is dishwasher safe. So you just want to talk about that. Oh yeah, remember Miss Jones? It's dishwasher safe. Oh yeah, best part, dishwasher safe. Cool, and you can even throw these in the dishwasher. Spam that hot button, because if that is the main reason for your customer to buy, you want to bring that up and you want that to be top of mind. You don't want them to be thinking, what are my reasons for not buying? You want them to be thinking about the reason to buy. This is the hot button, and figuring out that button allows you to keep Cutco as a need in their mind, and it also helps anchor them, because when they're thinking, oh, wow, this is expensive. Yeah, it is expensive, but guess what? You're going to pass it down to your kids. It's American made, and it's dishwasher safe. You said those are the three things that are super important to you. They're like, yeah. I'm like, don't you think anything with those three things would be expensive? Yeah. You can help anchor them, pull them back with the hot button. So whatever your customer's hot button is, you are going to use your questions that you've asked them to create a need. And then you're going to figure out what type of customer they are so that you can best cater your demo to them. And then once you best cater your demo to them, find out what they would need, find out what they would use and why, you're going to press the hot button and you're going to go and you're going to, every time you press that button, sell sets and packages only, and you're going to spew out CPO out of your ears so much that Mr. Jones' office will win a silver cup. So Last little piece of advice for y'all: give free stuff. Everyone loves free stuff. Give free stuff for Rex. Give free stuff for bigger orders. Give free stuff for the sake of giving free stuff. There was one demo, they cooked me dinner. They bought a homemaker with steak knives. Their grandma was there at the demo. She wouldn't see use out of knives. She said she'd see use out of a peeler. I gave the grandma a peeler to give her a peeler because she would see use out of it. Being a real person, if you are a good, genuine, authentic person and your customers can see that, they're just going to want to be around you more, and people are going to want to be around you more. I went back to that customer's house for dinner, salmon and steak, twice, and they were awesome every single time. And I've probably made $1,500 from them. The grandma loves me. Loves me. She talks about me all the time. She's giving me Rex. Why? I gave her a peeler when I didn't need to. It didn't help me. So be Christ-like in service. Lead in service. The better you can serve other people, even if you're serving at your own expense too, the more true it is to yourself and the realer it is. Just leading in service will help you out a lot in life. That is why I'm doing these talks. I've had many great people give me a lot of information that has helped me become the man that I am today, and I'm very grateful. I'm giving these talks for free and making custom presentations for all managers in the Eastern region as an extra thank you to just serve them and serve y'all better. So take that and try to move forward with it, because I promise you, if you live to serve more than anything, your life will be better, because you will become a richer person by solving the problems of people richer than you. I'll say that again. You will become a richer, more valuable, more connected person by solving the problems of people richer, more valuable, and better connected than you are. And the more of those people you have in your pocket, and the more of those people you can call on, the more opportunities and doors will open up in your life. They say that you are a combination of the 5 people you spend the most time around. So make sure when you go home, think about who you're spending the most time around, because you want to always be elevating. You want to be growing your faith. You want to be growing your wallet. You want to be growing your body and growing your mind. You also want to be growing your connections, because it's not about what you know. It's about who you know. So that is some of the final stuff that I will leave you with. If you want to contact me, scan this. This is my Blink business card. You'll be able to add me as a contact. Make sure to put in your name and stuff. If you have any questions at all, as I said, I am giving free talks and free info. It can be something stupid. It could be, hey, where did you get that book from? Hey, how do you sell a kitchen? Whatever it might be, I am here to help you. Mr. Jones is a fantastic friend of mine. And again, people greater than me have given to me. So I'm here to give back to y'all. And I think y'all can understand. I think y'all can feel it through the Zoom right now that I'm here to help you. So ask me questions. It can be about Rex. It can be about anything. And then I do also do mentorship and coaching. So if there are people that are looking for an opportunity like that, I can help coach you on a weekly basis if that is something you did want. But if you just need some questions answered, reach out. It's free. And then last but not least, have fun on your demos. What if one demo could change your life? There was one order last year that was $1 million CPO, or it was close, like $1 million CPO, right, Miss Amy? Close to? Yeah. This guy went and he made $500,000 on one order. Imagine if you went and did a demo tomorrow and you made $500,000 on an order. I know my life would be changed with 500 G's. I know my life would be changed. It wouldn't be changed drastically, but it definitely helped to just have 5 G's. So have fun on your demos. What if one demo, what if one conversation, what if one phone call can change your life? If you approach life with that type of opportunity-driven mindset, I promise the doors that are going to open up for you are going to be insane. But with that, that is all I got for you, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, I'll stop sharing my screen now.